My name is David Carter. I'm a police officer with the Oregon State Patrol. It was around 11:00 p.m. when I found myself driving toward a remote area called Silver Creek Ridge. The road was winding, high in the mountains, and heavy rain had just started pouring without warning. Though I'd been on that road a few times before, it was always during the day. Even then, something about it felt off. But that night was different. I slowed my patrol car to a crawl. The rain was relentless. Landslides were common around this area, and I had a gut feeling something bad was going to happen. Behind me, I noticed a white sedan following at the same slow pace. At first, I thought I was just being paranoid. Maybe the driver just didn't want to overtake on a narrow road in bad weather. But every move I made, the car mimicked. Every turn, every slowdown, it was right behind me. The road dipped near a swollen river, and water was spilling onto the pavement. My headlights flickered as I inched forward. Trees were thrashing in the storm wind zone of them. A tall pine looked like it could fall any second. Then suddenly, I saw it. A massive chunk of the mountain had collapsed onto the road up ahead. Behind us, I heard more rumbling, another landslide. We were trapped. I stepped out of my car. My legs shook, not from cold, but from sheer fear. Nature doesn't negotiate. You can talk down a criminal. You can reason with a man. But nature doesn't listen. The man from the white sedan got out too. He looked shaken. We exchanged a few words. His name was Dr. Victor Allen, a physician on his way to a medical camp in a nearby town. With nowhere to go and no cell signal, I told him to follow me. I had seen an old abandoned structure on a hill nearby. Locals called it Ridgehold Castle. We drove up the narrow path. The rain didn't let up, but the road was surprisingly intact. The castle looked ancient, with tall stone walls and massive wooden doors. We parked and stepped inside. To our surprise, it wasn't entirely abandoned. 4 candles burned dimly in the corners of a large hall. In the center was a table and some old chairs. Sitting there were 2 people, a young man and a girl, no older than their early 20s. They froze when they saw me in uniform. The guy said his name was Evan, and the girl was his girlfriend, Rachel. They claimed their car was nearly hit by a falling tree, and they decided to wait out the storm. 4 duffel bags lay beside them. Something about the way they clutched each other told me they might have run away from home. As we were talking, the sound of a roaring motorcycle echoed through the valley. Moments later, a man walked into the castle, a tall, muscular guy with tattooed arms and a Harley jacket. He introduced himself as Jack. Jack pulled out 2 expensive liquor bottles from his bag. "Drink up," he said. "Storm's gonna last a while." That's when we heard a harsh, metallic scrape from upstairs. It wasn't the wind, it wasn't rain, it was deliberate, like someone dragging iron across stone. Before I could stop him, Evan ran upstairs with a candle in hand. A scream tore through the silence. When we reached him, we found his leg clamped inside a rusty animal trap. Blood soaked his jeans. I yelled for help. Dr. Allen sprang into action and treated him as best he could with whatever we could find. But that wasn't the worst part. Later that night, Rachel disappeared. One minute, she was helping Evan get comfortable in one of the side rooms. The next minute, gone. Her scream echoed through the halls, and we followed it to an old wardrobe. Behind it, we discovered a hidden tunnel. We entered with flashlights and candles, crawling through the narrow space between the castle's thick walls. Finally, we found Rachel bruised and terrified in a pitch-black room behind a locked iron door. She swore someone dragged her there. Who? We didn't know, but something or someone was watching us. That's when Jack started acting strange. He knew too much about the castle. He claimed he'd never been here before, but he moved through the halls like he belonged. Dr. Allen confronted him. They nearly got into a fistfight. Then we saw it, all of us. A black silhouette standing motionless near a shattered window. It wasn't a person. It had no face, no voice, just a dark, living shadow that hovered, watching. We decided we had to escape. On the top floor, we found an open window without bars. We tied a long rope to a pillar and began climbing down. Jack went first and fell, hard. But when we reached him, he was standing. Not a scratch, not even a bruise. I was a cop. I knew what broken bones looked like, and Jack should have been dead. That's when it clicked. None of us should have survived that landslide. Jack, Evan, Rachel, Dr. Allen, even me. I remembered the moment the boulders crashing onto my windshield, the sound of my bones breaking, the flash of light. We were dead. And this castle? This was the place in between. I heard the voice again. It came from the shadow. I am death. You don't belong here anymore. It reached out a hand. Rachel took it. One by one, we followed. Our memories began to fade. My name, my badge number, my hometown all slipping away. But before everything was gone, I wanted to tell someone this story. So if you ever find yourself driving on a stormy night through the Oregon mountains, and an old castle appears at the top of a hill, don't go in. Some doors, once opened, may never let you leave.